Welcome to Within Podcasts. We are your hosts, Philip.
And Sarah.
And over the last couple of years, we have set ourselves the goal to learn everything there is about personal development and practical spirituality. And the things we learned that helped us the most is what we're going to share on this podcast.
Let's go to the topic of the day. How much influence do these relationships or connections or friendships have in our lives? We already talked about this earlier, or we mentioned them also in the earlier podcasts or episodes that we had. But the more I think about it, the crazier it gets. So many of my activities, daily activities, depend on the people I connect with, like where I'd like to go, which activities I attend, or how I'd like to spend my free time.
Exactly. I mean, when you think about it, they influence us on every single level. I mean,
Yes.
they influence us on what we are going to wear, what we eat, what we do, as I said, the activities,
Even your goals and routines can be sometimes influenced by your friendships or connections.
your whole behavior, the way you talk, the way you interact with
Yeah,
different
this is
people.
really interesting because it reminded me of something that we always laugh about. Some of my friends here in Austria are from Kosovo, but for the ones that don't know that, in Kosovo they also speak Albanian because they are Albanians.
Mhm.
Like it's like Germany and Austria, they speak the same language, but they are different countries. And the more I stay with them, the more I talk like them. And my friends back in Albania say to me sometimes like, why are you talking like from the north? And it's really interesting because the more I spend time with them, the more I gain some sayings and
Yeah.
I sound like them. But I think it's really beautiful, also connected to the topic of today.
And like these are the small things that just influence us on a daily basis.
Yes.
But of course, they influence us, as I said before, on a lot of levels. Also on the ones that decide your life or that form your life. For example, your mentality. If you are lazy, or do you hustle? If you are insecure, or if you're courageous? If you're frightened, or if you're bold? I mean, these are all things dependent, at least a bit dependent,
Yeah.
influenced by a long shot
Yeah.
from your friends, the people you surround yourself with.
The people you spend most of the time with.
Exactly. So, of course, the goal is to get as positive impact or influence as possible. But to get this positive influence, we at first kind of need to understand what relationships are bad for us, but how to actually recognize a bad relationship. And I found just two very simple questions where you can find them very easily. And the first one is, do you gain energy when you spend time with this person, or do you lose energy? And the second one, do they appreciate or do they help you become the one you want to be? Like
Or
it's a different,
or the best version of yourself.
the best version of yourself. But that's something you decide. Like you decide what you want to be. And that's a difference between if they just accept you the way you are,
Hmm.
or if they appreciate and help you become the one you want to be. And these are, just for myself, two ways to recognize a really good relationship, or in the other way around, to define bad relationships.
That's really interesting, I must say. So you talked about how to recognize good relationships from bad relationships. But in my opinion, relationships are a bit more complex. You can't say that those are only good or those are only bad. It's a bit more to it. And I think that there are different types of friendships that you can build with different people. So the question is like how to recognize it or how to be aware which ones are good for you or not?
I think you already made the point. There are different types of relationships, and that's fine the way it is, but you just need to be aware that there are different types. For example, I do have a lot of friends. Uh, I have friends I play volleyball with. I have friends I go to the gym with. I have friends, I don't know, I'm talking about books. Yeah.
Yeah, friends that you do podcasts with.
I got these ones as well.
The
uh,
best ones.
yeah, of course. Of course. Why ones? Like, are there more than one?
No, I don't think so. You're not allowed to.
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there are different types of relationships, and and that's fine the way it is because I share different types of passions with them. For example, the ones that I play volleyball with are probably not that compatible. The ones I'm talking about books or do podcasts with, whatever it is. Um, the point is, you have to be aware
Mm.
because when you expect someone you meet for the gym or you meet to play volleyball with, you expect them to be more than that, then you maybe harm yourself. Then you are harming yourself.
Actually, it depends because not every relationship that you are building from a shared passion will be superficial. Like, it depends from a person, I think. But in general, it is like you're saying.
Exactly. I'm not saying because we just share this one passion, something can't evolve out of this relationship. That's not the point. You're right.
Yes, but I just
Yeah.
wanted
No,
to
no, no.
clarify that because it's really important.
You're absolutely right. Uh, you just need to realize what type of relationship you have with this person. Like, to say it simply, how deep does it go? How deep goes your relationship?
Yes.
And the thing is, when you are aware of what type of relationship you have with this person, you are certain what you can expect of this person. But when you are not aware, when you expect more from a relationship than it actually is, let's say I play with someone, I just meet him for volleyball and maybe going out, yeah, and I have a lot of fun with this friend. When I expect of him to, for example, help me when I'm in trouble, when I have, I don't know, emotional problems, or I'm just, down. Well, I'm not saying that he can't help me, but maybe he
Maybe,
isn't the person to do so
or maybe the relationship that you have hasn't evolved so much
to this
to
point.
this
Yeah,
point. Yes.
because to ask these questions, to talk about, well,
Your troubles.
personal things, it needs time, it needs some deeper bonds. But if you expect someone, you have not created these bonds yet, you will create a harmful situation for yourself because you expect him to help you, but he will not help you, probably, because first of all, he does not think of your relationship in that way. And second of all, well, he doesn't know you that much.
Yeah.
And maybe he isn't even suited to help you because he has his own problems.
Yeah, there are a lot of factors, I think, but I've been in some cases in this position where I expected someone else to do the same as I did for them, and it didn't happen, and it led to a disappointment. So I think it's really important, it's crucial actually, to recognize which bonds do you have with someone and which depth does this connection have for both of the people involved.
Be aware of what type of relationship you have. And if you expect more from a relationship that it can offer, you create a painful situation for you. And that's on you.
But there are also some really bad relationships. People who drain your energy or maybe put you down or maybe direct you to the wrong path. how to deal with them.
Uh, I think everybody knows when a relationship is kind of bad.
Of course.
I mean, at first we had, the first two questions, how to realize, to recognize a bad relationship. And at some point people know, well, with this person they don't vibe anymore. Yeah.
You can feel it,
Yeah,
right?
you can feel it.
Yeah.
It's just it's not a match anymore. And
Something is off.
something's off. Yeah, something's off. And I think the hard part is not to realize it, but what to do. What to do with this person.
That's why I asked about it.
Fair, fair point. Uh, and I think everybody knows. Like, it's a very simple answer. We have to leave these people. We
Let
actually
go.
we actually have to let go. And that's hard sometimes.
It is hard. I
That's
can
hard
relate.
because there are I think we talked about this before when you said there are people in your life, you know, you you created a lot of memories. You had a passion together and so on. But at some point you have chosen one way and this person has chosen another way. So you drift apart. You don't have
Our paths don't align anymore, let's
your
say.
paths don't align
Yes.
anymore. Yeah, you have no similarities anymore. But why? Why do people still try so hard to fix broken friendships?
I think because as human beings, we get emotionally attached to the past or to the shared emotions. Therefore, we have a hard time to let go sometimes.
Exactly. And I think the main reason is because of fear. People fear because, of course, at some point, you had a good relationship with this person. And I think the main reason is because they fear there will never be another person that you can share your deepest thoughts, your deepest emotions with.
Or that you can get along so well with. Simple as
Yes.
that.
And I think that there's so much fear in this question because, of
It
course, the,
is.
the future is unknown, but the past is clear. Like, I know for a fact with this person, I shared these beautiful memories.
Yes, and at the present, our paths don't align anymore. We don't share the same interests anymore. We simply don't connect anymore.
Yeah. And I think if you don't accept the circumstance that this person, well, is just no longer a match for you, yeah, you create a very harmful situation for yourself because you use so much of your time, so much of your energy to fix something that's already broken.
Hmm.
And the easiest way to deal with it is to let go, really to let this person go. And I feel like you it's not like you had a breakup with this person. It's not like you don't like him anymore. But you, well, just don't have so many activities with this person anymore. I think it's kind of
Or
or
similarities.
similarities. Sometimes a clean breakup is necessary when the relationship is really bad. Like, you can feel it that it drowns you. You can feel it physically that you don't have any energy anymore because you have to maybe fight so much with this person. Yeah, whatever it is. But most of the time, at least in my case, it was a transition because I changed, because I have chosen a path. The other person,
Choose
well,
another one.
or stay put, did not want to follow the path. So our values changed. Our similarities kind of vanished. Our goals changed. And that's fine. That's a normal process. So it's fine to leave some people in the past.
And I actually had to learn this the hard way. To be honest, I've had a pretty good sense of when friendship doesn't feel the same anymore.
doesn't feel right.
Yes,
Yeah.
most of the time I've been around people I connect naturally with. It was really hard for me to let go when it didn't feel right anymore. Even when the energy changed, I felt kind of guilty to let go because of the shared memories. Maybe some friends were there when uh, I had to overcome some struggles. We pushed each other to overcome a lot of situations together. So it was kind of difficult to accept the fact that we didn't align anymore, that our paths went in a separate
That's hard.
direction.
That's hard,
Yes,
especially
it's
after years.
after
After
years.
years, you've got to know this person. You've shared so many things, so many
Yes,
activities.
that's even worse.
Yeah,
But sometimes you just have to accept that. You have to accept that you want a different life for yourself. You want to go in a different direction. Your values have changed. You've grown into another human being. You're another version of yourself now. And letting go doesn't mean that there is no love anymore or there is no respect anymore. It just means that you're choosing what's right for you at the present moment. And that's fine.
yeah, it's more than fine because if you follow your path, you will attract people that share the same values.
Exactly.
And that's the next big, I think, topic,
Mm.
how to create those deep bonds, how to create or how to find people that you can connect with so deeply.
I think it's easy.
How? How come?
No, jokes apart, it's not easy to create a deep bond because it needs a lot of energy and effort and so on,
Time, yeah.
but time, of course. But to surround yourself with people that you connect easily, it's really easy.
Why? Why is it so simple?
Because I think that by doing the things you like, by going into the places that the things you like are happening, you can simply meet people who align with you, who align with your passions, who share the same values as you. For example, if you're into sports or you want to be more active, join a run club, as I did 3 days ago, and it was super fun. I meet a
Very
lot of
important.
interesting people. Or go to an art gallery if you're into art, or if you're into business, there are a lot of workshops going around in the city. So there are a lot of possibilities. You just have to choose what you like, what's right for you, and all the people that share the same interests will be there and you'll connect naturally. And the connection feels more real because it's built on something meaningful.
On something you both share.
Yes.
And I think you are right. That's the easiest way to choose a path and then to follow your path. And at the beginning, some old friends will maybe get behind, will get lost on your way. But on this way, if you continue your way, as you said, you will do activities, you will do, you join clubs, whatever you're doing, you will meet people who have the same interest. And that means you will attract people by doing what you love,
By being yourself.
by being yourself,
Very
or by
important.
trying to be who you want to be in the future,
Who you want to become, yes.
who you want to become. You will attract people who have the same goal, who have the same wish.
Or maybe push you to do better and achieve these goals
That's a
even,
consequence
yes, and
because
achieve these goals easier
together.
together,
And
yes.
again, you create relationships, positive relationships that, as you said, influence you to push you or to get more information, especially when you're into businesses, to get more knowledge.
To build a network. It's really
Exactly.
important. And what I wanted to add is that in these environments where you surround yourself with these people that share the same values and you're simply being you by following your passion, you are more magnetic because you look more positive, you're shining in a different light.
You're enthusiastic.
Yes.
And people are attracted to when someone really like loves his passion.
Exactly.
They're attracted to that.
That's why I mentioned being a magnet. You become a magnet to new positive relationships.
And I think that's the main point of this episode. At first, I wasn't aware of how much influence, how much power,
Mm.
how much I was dependent on my relationship with my friends or with others in general. But when I realized how much power there is in these relationships, I got cautious. I got cautious about uh, if a relationship is good or bad for me. And by deciding for the positive ones, it helped me so much to achieve even more I actually planned. But the thing is, if you are not aware of a bad relationship, it can actually lead to your downfall. It can really ruin your life, or at least make your life so much harder.
I totally agree to
Yeah.
that.
So be aware what your relationships are.
And be more selective.
I hope we could give you some value in this episode. If so, it would help us a lot if you could leave us a like, a comment, or subscribe to us. Thank
Thank
you.
you.